Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new week of Road to TCG Worlds 2016, where this week I am featuring Genesect-EX and Bronzong BREAK. Now, as you can see from the list overview, there's only one copy of each card, but I think they bring a lot to the table in terms of increasing the deck's capabilities in what it can do. We're also featuring one of the new Bronzongs that prevents damage in order to counteract Trevenant a little bit. And yeah, this deck, credit to the person who got second place at Malaysian Nationals. I believe it was Paul something, not entirely sure, but I will link the deck list in the description down below. And yeah, let's review the deck, shall we? So Genesect-EX is a really nice option to use as an attacker. Drive Change allows you to switch around tool cards, which could potentially be useful in order to free retreat with Floatstone and conserve it, increase Genesect-EX's HP through Fighting Fury Belt, or simply deal more damage with Muscle Band. And then we have Rapid Blaster, where you can deal 100 damage and discard as many metal energy attached to this Pokemon as you like and deal 20 more damage. So you can potentially one-hit KO every single Pokemon. Not too bad. And yeah, Genesect-EX, I like it a lot. I like Genesect because of the success I had with Virizion Genesect back in the previous format and how it countered Seismitoad really nicely. So yeah. Then we have one Bronzong BREAK, which with Metal Rain kind of does the same thing, does 30 damage times the number of metal energy you discard attached to Bronzong BREAK, but you can select who to attack, so you could potentially KO a Shaymin-EX somewhere down the line in order to win a match or close it out. So definitely very useful. Increasing Bronzong's HP could also prove vital in order for it to survive, and it pairs up really well with one of the stars of the deck, Bronzong. It's been around for quite a while. Metal Links is a really nice ability, allowing you to recover metal energy from your discard pile and attach it to one of your benched Pokemon. The attack is nothing to write home about, but we're not using it for the attack, we're using it for the ability. Then we have our 4 Bronzor in order to evolve, and we have this Bronzong, which with its ability Metal Fortress, it prevents all effects of your opponent's attacks, including damage done to your benched Pokemon. So basically, Trevenant Break cannot place damage counters on your bench. Its attack Tree Slam from the XY Trevenant cannot deal the 20 to 2 Pokemon on your bench. And Guard Press is not, like, once again, nothing to write home about, but maybe it'll be useful at some point, who knows. But once again, it's mainly for the ability. Bronzong has always been favored for its ability, and it has a little extra 10 HP when compared to the other Bronzong. Then we have the main attacker of the deck, Aegislash-EX. Having 3 of them really puts a ton of pressure on decks like Vespiquen or Night March in order for them to have a Hex Maniac every single time in order to attack. And Slash Blast, no discard, but you can potentially pile up the energy and deal a ton of damage. And Mighty Shield prevents you from getting damage by any attacks by any Pokemon that have special energy attached to them. And we have our nice 2 Shaymin-EX in order to support the deck. Now our supporter lineup is pretty simple. For Sycamore, as usual, 2N, very nice card that got reprinted. 2 Lysandre in order to target whatever we want. 1 Giovanni's, you never know when that extra 20 damage might be useful. 1 AC in order to retreat. Everything in our deck has really high retreat costs except maybe Shaymin, so definitely useful, and in order to heal as well. And then we have our 4 versus Seeker, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Trainers Mail. What else is of note? 2 Battle Compressor to get those metal energy in the discard pile. 1 Heavy Ball in order to pair up with Ultra Balls. This can only find Bronzongs, but having an extra card to find Bronzong, which is one of the main Pokemon in the deck you want to get out, is definitely useful. 1 Super Rod, 1 Megaphone, 1 Escape Rope, 2 Fighting Fury Belt in order to increase the HP, 2 Floatstone in order to be able to free retreat, 2 Skyfield in order to increase our bench space, potentially have a lot of Bronzongs, or possibly once it gets countered, discard Shaymin-EXs from the bench so that they're not a liability anymore. 1 Muscle Band, 1 Super Rod for recovery, which I think I already mentioned, 1 Switch, and 9 basic metal energy in order to use metal links. Now that covers the deck pretty much. I also want to take a second to show down here and speak a little bit about that. You can see the championship points count has been updated. I did win a regional championship, the second one I've won this season so far. Out of 5 regional championships I played in, I won 2 and I got top 8 at another one. I didn't top cut the other 2, which kind of potentially hinders my chances of getting the day 2 invite. As it stands right now, with 535 points and the expected cutoff for top 8 in Latin America, in theory I need a top 8 at nationals could maybe give me the trip, and a top 4 would guarantee day 2 direct invite. So that's the goal. Well, the number 1 goal is top 4. The number 2 goal is to win, of course. I've never been national champion. The best I've placed is 2nd place. I've gotten top 4 a few times, top 8, etc. But I fell short 11 years ago, actually, in 2005. So that's definitely a title I really want to add to my collection, and I'm gonna try my best this year. I don't know what deck I'm gonna play, and as I'm recording this, there's only 2 weeks left until nationals, so I really have to start thinking about that and planning and testing a lot more. But yeah, just wanted to update you guys. 535 championship points so far, 2 regionals wins, and we are a top 4 away from being the only player in the whole world to be able to play VGC Worlds and TCG Worlds. And with that note, let us go into the versus ladder and find ourselves our 2 games of the day. First, making sure I select the right deck, otherwise like in the previous video, I think I selected Mew instead of Psycard for the first game. And yeah, looks like we are up against a Night March deck straight off the bat, so definitely a good test run for our deck. Aegislash should be pretty useful. Bronzong Break might be useful. Genesect-EX probably won't be useful. So unfortunate that we won't get to feature that card, but we do lead Aegislash, and an Aegislash with a Fighting Fury build, I don't know, I mean that seems like that seems really hard for a Night March to take down. So definitely a good start, I would say. Definitely a good start in my opinion. Now there's a very delicate balance between discarding too many energies and leaving enough in the deck so that you can actually manually attach. It is Night March and there's actually unknowns, so that might mean Vespiquen is also an option. Now with access to Mew in Night March and basic energies by copying Joltik, there's also that possibility and that risk. That's definitely a good option for Night March. And I did top deck Shaymin, so going to Compressor away, 2 basic energy, or 3? Should I go for 3 straight off the bat? We do see no Lysander are priced. We do see no Bronzor and no Bronzong are priced. At least none of the metal links. 1 Aegislash is priced. Genesect is there. The other Fighting Fury belt is there. The Bronzong that prevents damage to the bench is priced, but that's not gonna be useful anyways. So I'm gonna discard Genesect. I mean, target whistle is a thing for my opponent, but it's not really a big deal. His Aegislash is going to put a lot of pressure on my opponent, and with the Trainer's Mail, not gonna actually grab anything. See, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll Shaymin, but I'm not too sure that's the best play, because that's a target for my opponent. That's definitely a target. Now I do top deck Bronzor, and see, now the issue is I'm not gonna be able to get Aegislash off of the active slot unless I top deck a Switch or something like that. That would mean there's 4 energy in the discard pile. I could end, but I don't think that's a good idea at this point in time. I'm just gonna go for another Bronzor, set that up, And yeah, like I said, Bronzong Break is definitely an option as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's priced. Okay, so I do get a Floatstone, which I will attach to one of the Bronzors. And I'm going to Trainer's Mails. Nothing too useful. I'm gonna keep the Heavy Ball, because that might give me 2 Bronzongs for next turn. And I'm just gonna pass here. I'm conserving the Floatstone in my hand because you never know if my opponent might play a Megaphone right now. So I just want to make sure there's not an issue with that. If he does play it, I won't be left Floatstone-less, if you will. And yeah, I do have the N, I do have a Lysander. I did top deck an energy, which is, well, not top deck, I did get an energy for my hand, which is also very nice. And wow, my opponent is going to Puzzle of Time right off the bat, which combined with Unknown, let me just move a little behind. Combined with Unknown, that's a really nice combo, I guess, because you do get any card you want off of the next 3 cards. Well, he actually uses Shaymin, so never mind. He just wanted to draw an extra card off of Shaymin, and he was going to know exactly which 3 cards he was going to draw. Now he does attach the Floatstone to Shaymin, now decides to use Unknown, but he hasn't played any Compressor, any Supporter, any Trainer's Mails, any Ultra Ball, which is really weird. He actually is forced to Shaymin for 1 card. So my opponent is in a really bad position here. Really bad position. And he simply passes. So now that I have the N, I kind of just don't want to use it. I mentioned whilst reviewing the deck that Heavy Ball could only find Bronzong, but it can actually find Aegislash, so that's really nice. I'm actually gonna choose that over Bronzong because I don't immediately need the Metal Links right now. I will attach an energy here. I will use the Metal Links, however, to start powering up the bench Bronzong. Thankfully, against Night March, I only need 3 energy on Aegislash, maybe 4 if I want to target a Shaymin or the Fighting Fury Belt. And yeah, like I said, I could end here, but I know my opponent's hand is quite lacking. So I'm gonna wait a turn because there's no point in helping him out this next turn, because if I used the N, there really wasn't too much else I could do. I had already used Metal Links. If I was planning on using the N, I would not have used Metal Links because there was a chance I could have drawn the Switch or the Escape Rope. But yeah, so far so good. I mean, I generally would say so far so good. I cannot complain. My opponent simply passes. Now I do get an AC. So, unfortunately, I am going to have... I'm gonna touch the other Floatstone, and I'm gonna have to end here. I'm gonna have to end my opponent. I didn't really want to do that. I do get a Switch, and I do get another Bronzor, which is obviously nice. I also get the AC once again. I'm gonna evolve the non-Floatstoned. No, I'm gonna evolve the Floatstoned. Yeah, so I'm gonna get a KO on a Night Marcher, which is really nice. And I'm actually gonna keep the other Aegislash active, because he might not think I will be able to KO a Shaymin-EX, because Slash Blast will deal 80 damage right now. It's dealing 100 damage. And with the Muscle Band, I could potentially KO a Shaymin. And getting that last Aegislash off of my prizes is really, really nice. I could even pick up the Shaymin and bench the other Aegislash. So at this point, I'm in a pretty nice situation. I'm really in a really nice situation. Really. Apparently, really is today's word. So yeah. Let's see what else. Let's see what else goes on here. My opponent starts using acceleration. He actually decides not to give the Sycamore, so that means his hand is definitely a lot better than the previous one. And yeah, we'll see what my opponent wants to do here. He actually has teammates. So, with that in mind, he will be able to find whatever he wants. But he's already used a supporter. So that means no Lysander, no Hex Maniac, potentially Pokemon Catcher, right? But he still needs to flip heads. So, and he only has one Night Marcher in the discard pile, so he needs like a Joltik, a DCE, and 2 more Night Marchers in the discard pile, and to flip heads on the catcher in order to maybe advance his game state and KO Shaymin-EX, which is on the bench. So since that's very unlikely, I mean he did get 2 of those potential 5 cards, but it's still really unlikely. I mean, seriously, it's really, really unlikely. It's generally really, really unlikely. He gets rid of 3 Lampents, benches Pumpkaboo, retreats for the other Shaymin-EX, attaches a DCE. He's gonna Sky Return. That means I will probably get 2 prizes here, because, well, he actually decides to promote Pumpkaboo, which I guess makes sense. Wow. And I top deck the Lysander, which is really nice. Now, I could maybe think of a late game Bronzong break, but I don't think that's really necessary. What I'm actually gonna do is KO Shaymin-EX, because KOing Pumpkaboo doesn't really help me too much. It forces it in the active slot, so I do have resistance. He still needs Hex Maniac and a ton of extra Night Marchers in his discard pile, and I do get 2 prizes off of that attack. And potentially, since I do have 2 Verse Seekers, if he benches another Shaymin, which he did Sky Return, so he probably will. If he does do that, then that's another 2 prizes, and that means I basically win, because I would only need to KO 1 more Night Marcher, and I have 2 Aegislash-EXs powered up, and I have AC. I still have an Escape Rope somewhere. I have energy to retreat a potential Shaymin or a Bronzor, which got stuck in the active slot. So yeah, maybe there's a way my opponent can win, but I don't know. I mean, I would put money on it being 99-1 in my favor or better, especially if he benches Shaymin. And he doesn't end. But if he ends, then he cannot touch Aegislash. So it's gonna puzzle of time. And if he doesn't end, is he looking at the top 3 cards? Or is he going back for 2 more cards from his discard pile? I mean, if he manages, okay, he's going back for 2 cards. If he manages to KO the active Aegislash-EX by getting 10 Night Marchers in the discard pile and using Hex Maniac, I will be really impressed. Like, I will generally be really impressed by my opponent. Looks like he did get rid of 2 Pumpkaboos and a Lampent. He does bench the Shaymin, draws 2 cards. How many Night Marchers is it? 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he still needs 3 more, or 2 more and a Muscle Band, and the Hex Maniac to KO my current Aegislash-EX. He still needs that many Pokemon. So it seems really unlikely. It seems really unlikely that he can pull that off and find the Hex Maniac, because he didn't get rid of it with the Battle Compressor, so that probably means he doesn't have it. He actually attaches a Floatstone to Pumpkaboo. He does have another Battle Compressor, and that's actually the second Floatstone. which is not standard at all. Not standard at all. So is he going to get rid of 3 more Night Marchers? At that point, I might be better off KOing the Pumpkaboo with Aegislash. Wow, he is. Because he will only have 1 Night Marcher left. Oh, but he goes for teammates. There we go. So, I mean, he cannot prevent Aegislash-EX's ability. I hope he knows that. I hope he knows about that. Okay, he finds his 2 cards, maybe 2 Pokemon Catcher to try and KO Shaymin. 1 seems to be unknown, so he actually passes. The other card is probably... The other card is most likely the Hex Maniac, which makes sense. But at this point, with, like I mentioned earlier, 2 Aegislash-EXs powered up, if he uses Hex Maniac, then he, yeah, sure, he KOs Aegislash, and then I come up and draw my last prize. If he... And there's 2 new cards. If he doesn't... But then I have an AC and an energy to potentially retreat, so yeah. There is literally nothing my opponent could do. At least he draws 2 prizes by dealing 180 damage. But Aegislash-EX comes up. I could have dealt massive damage by using 2 Metal Links, attaching the energy and playing Giovanni's, but there's no need. I would have dealt 190 damage actually, which is really sick. So yeah. My opponent's very, very, very slow start definitely didn't help. That's not usually the start you would expect to find or to play against with a Night March deck. During the finals, I did play Night March against, like, the 2 regionals I won. I beat the same guy in the final, my good friend Miguel Lopez, whom actually overall did better at regionals than me. He did manage to get points from 4 regionals instead of 3 like I did. So he's in first place in Mexico, I'm in second place. And yeah, he was using Night March, I was using Greninja. And wow, this is going to suck to use Sycamore in the first turn. And what was I saying? I don't know why I was going to oh yeah, on game 1 in the finals, he got a really slow start, like ridiculously slow that you would never expect to get with a Night March deck. I don't know, it was really weird. So my Trainer's Mail actually finds me an N, which I'm going to prefer to use over the Sycamore, simply because there's so many resources I want to keep alive right now. My opponent is playing some sort of Crobat deck. So here I can Heavy Ball for an Aegislash. So yeah, I hope I get to feature Genesect-EX and Bronzong Break at some point during the week, because otherwise that's going to be unfortunate, because they are the new cards. Okay, 2 Bronzongs still available, so that's pretty nice. 2 Shaymins as well. Gonna go for Shaymin here. I could play the Super Red right now. I don't know if it's worth it to draw an extra card just for that. I don't think it is, so I'm just gonna draw an extra 4 cards instead. I do get a Skyfield, I do get a Fighting Fury Belt. I do not, however, get energy, which might set me behind a little bit. Just gonna put 3 energy in the discard pile. There's none yet. There's 1 priced, because there's 8 total available, so there's 1 metal energy priced, and I'm going to pass for now. Because Sycamore is my card. Well, that was actually, I don't know. Okay, Mega Alakazam EX with Crobat and Bridget. Wow. Now that's scary. Now that is a very scary setup for my opponent, especially because I didn't get to attach an energy. So my Bronzors will be very susceptible. I don't want to keep anything here because I would be forced to discard it. Now unfortunately, because I did play the because you cannot choose less than 3 cards with Super Rod, 2 of the energy I just put in my discard pile because of or thanks to Compressor. I'm gonna have to put them back there. I do get a Bronzong, which is nice. Still no energy though. Still no energy. Now you would assume my opponent has Counter Stadium, so I'm gonna bench that. Gonna play the Trainer's Mail just so that I can potentially draw 6 cards. Do I want to keep the Ultra Ball? Not really. I don't think so. I'm not gonna keep it. I'm just gonna draw a straight 6 cards from Shaymin. Now the issue here is all the damage counters that are going to start piling up. That's going to be a really big issue. So at least I do get an energy. I do get to use Metal Links for the single metal energy, and now we're in trouble. Actually, I should have attached to Shaymin. Yeah, we are in definite trouble here, guys. Definite trouble. Because I have nothing to draw for next turn. I have nothing to draw and I have no energy to start attacking and drawing prizes. So going to retreat into this Aegislash because I do have an Escape Rope and I'm gonna pass my turn. I drew terribly off of that Shaymin. 2 Lysanders. If I had grabbed the Lysander off of the Trainer's Mail earlier on and discarded it, then that Lysander would have been something different. My opponent actually just goes for another Bridget. Simply goes for another Bridget. So goes for a Shaymin. Okay, that makes sense. Except that Bridget puts directly onto the bench. So that was a terrible play by my opponent, unless he actually has AC in his hand. Now, okay, before I attach my energy, I'm going to play an Escape Rope. My opponent doesn't know I have the energy. I mean, he might suspect it, right? But I can actually, I mean, that Bridget is really suspect, and I can KO Shaymin-EX, so I'm actually just gonna do that. Getting rid of Zubats would be really nice, but I definitely think I need the 2 prizes to try and find something. Top decking the metal energy was really nice. I do get the metal energy off of my prizes as well. And I do have a Lysander to potentially target another Shaymin if my opponent did go for that. I do have Psychic Resistance, although Alakazam won't need too many damage counters to KO me. He actually goes for a Sycamore, probably top deck that. There's Crobat, there's a Devolution Spray. So 2 Crobats in the discard pile is nice. There's Mega Alakazam, so 2 damage counters on the active. 3 damage counters probably on a Bronzor, you would imagine, or the other Aegislash. No, he actually targets Bronzong. And he passes his turn because Mega Evolution does that. So I could Lysander up Mega Alakazam, but I think I'm better off getting myself a prize here, once again because of the dire situation I'm in. Genesect-EX would be nice in this situation because I doubt my opponent is running any special energy, really. My prize card does find me a Fighting Fury belt, which does mean Aegislash has 210 HP. So how many damage counters does he need? He deals 10 plus 30. So with 2 damage counters, he's dealing 70 minus 20, that's only 50. And then I'll have 70 damage on me. So yeah, that will be a KO. Okay. So now Megalaxam will KO me this upcoming turn. Battle Compressor finds me a Verse Seeker, which is definitely a card I want to see right now. I could end my opponent, I could AC for Shaymin, I could Sycamore. I think Sycamore is the better play. So, gonna bench this guy, gonna attach here, and I'm going to Sycamore. There's no point in using N and giving my opponent more cards. I don't need to Lysander. So Verse Seeker is the obvious choice. Now I could potentially save my Aegislash, but no, because because I don't have any metal energy. So that Super Rod costing me a lot. Generally costing me a lot. Okay. I do have 3 Bronzongs, so I could attack here and then potentially use Bronzong Break. No, because I would need to find another Floatstone. Do I have AC? I do have AC. So if I attach an energy, I could KO 2 Zubats on the bench and then KO Alakazam. So I'm gonna keep the energy in my hand for now, and I'm just gonna Slash Blast. I threaten the KO on Mega Alakazam. He will KO Aegislash. He will deal a ton of damage to Aegislash. So my Fighting Fury Belt not mattering too much, but I mean, I generally think KOing 2 Zubats is a really good idea. I genuinely think KOing 2 Zubats is a really good idea, because that removes any more damage counters option for my opponent. So gonna promote Shaymin-EX. I am going to evolve into Bronzong Break. I drew another energy, okay. I'm gonna use 3 Metal Links and attach to Bronzong Break and KO 2 Zubats by dealing 60 damage to each of them. And then he probably won't even be able to KO Bronzong, which is very nice. I won't be able to retreat myself, however, unless I get something really nice off of potential Shaymin and then Sycamore, and by something nice I mean Switch. Or potentially another Verse Seeker to reuse Shaymin, or to reuse AC, sorry. The energy, the Sycamore, we're gonna hold on to that for now and hold on to Shaymin, and I'm gonna use Metal Rain. So I am going to discard all 4 energy. There we go. And I'm going to place 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. That's 60 damage to each, 2 KOs. And wow, I'm actually 1 KO away. I'm 1 card away rather from winning. So wow. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. He does find a Spirit Link and a Mega Alakazam EX. Does place 2 damage counters. Still not enough to KO the active Bronzong Break. I mean, at this point, I'd rather him get the KO. At this point, I'd rather him get the KO. He could end. He could definitely end, and that could set us back. That could set us back a little bit. Okay, he's going to Devolution Spray. So he will have Mega Alakazam for next turn. But if he attacks here, and I find a way to retreat, Okay, he's gonna Lysander, Aegislash. Okay, so that's bad. That's bad because now I need. Well, I still need the same cards actually. Yeah, sure. You heal that guy. That just means, I mean, I can still KO the Zubat on the bench. I need to retreat Aegislash. That's all I need. So, how do I draw the most amount of cards right now? I am going to bench the Bronzor, Ultra Ball away the N, and the other Ultra Ball. Find something that I can bench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Skyfield does allow for 8 Pokemon, so I can bench Genesect. I can attach. Yeah, I cannot lose. I generally cannot lose. So I'm gonna attach the energy there. I am going to Shaymin-EX. And I'm going to draw 5 cards. There's the switch. So all I need to do is Metal Links onto the Bronzong Break. Use the switch or the AC and simply target the Zubat. And that's game. So Bronzong Break making a very nice appearance in this match. And Genesect-EX making a cameo appearance. Just by sitting on the bench in the second game. But yeah, pretty nice match. The deck is flowing very nicely, I would have to say. This, I mean, I can see why this list was so good and it got second place at Nationals in Malaysia, which had a very nice showing of 69 people, I believe. So yeah, this is it from me, guys. Thank you so much for your support and everything. The championship points count, the way all the success I've had this season, it's been mostly inspired by Tablemon and the channel and all the support I've received. We did reach 3,000 subscribers, which blows my mind. We did reach it during the weekend, and yeah, there's a lot of good things coming for TCG, VGC, and yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. I hope I get to see a lot of you at Worlds. And yeah, that's it from me, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow in Spanish or on Wednesday in English. Hope you leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.